Gary, 0-0 here at Quorn. You wanted a clean sheet, but maybe not the result.
Oh, well, yeah, I wanted a clean sheet. And I'm a lot happier with today's draw than I was last Saturday's draw, obviously. This isn't an easy place to come. I thought, Dan Wallace was definitely man of the match for us. I thought he was excellent. I thought he's made 3 or 4 really, really good saves. 1 first half, three second half. But I also thought their keeper made 1 or 2 saves, and we was a little bit wasteful as well, as were they. And that was probably a little bit of lack of quality from both teams, really, in the final third that didn't get a goal. But for entertainment and endeavour and effort-wise and all the jazz that managers want to see, I think both managers will be reasonably happy. I think both sets of players give everything they got. And we was all looking for that bit of magic or a horrible mistake, which normally wins these types of games. But me and their gaffer actually said before the game, we both conceded a lot of goals. This will probably be a 3-3er. That was a 0-0. But, that's 6 unbeaten with 1 or 2 more wins in the little unbeaten run. But that was nice to stay unbeaten. And another away game where we've performed reasonably well. Again, the away record's excellent. So we don't come away and fear anybody. We know we can score goals. We know we can pick up results. But more pleasing today, we ain't scored and we ain't lost. So there was a few positives today.
You brought Danny Setchell on at the end, of course. So there's something else. You've got that to lean on as well. But and 20 minutes or so for O'Brien as well. So yeah. It's looking like the team's bolstering.
Well, yeah. I mean, Danny. To start with Danny first, he was actually on his way to play for Histon today.
Right.
And that got called off because obviously he's had such a horrible season with injuries with his back, and then he got back and broke his foot, and he's not nowhere near fit enough, but I knew he could go on there for 10, 15 minutes and win his headers and put the ball in good areas. And, he's probably going to have to go play for Histon because we can't give him the game time to get fit. So he'll be at Histon for the next couple of weeks, and obviously if we need him, we can take him. There's no loan thing or anything like that. But he had 90 minutes last week, or 70, 80 minutes last week, done well. Travelled with us Tuesday, and obviously went on today when Keeves' calves went a bit tight because we are running on a really small squad. We've got to get 1 or 2 in the door, and we've got to get 2 of these young lads, hopefully on loan to Step 5 clubs to, for them to get to no man's football, because to throw one of them out there today in the heat of the battle would have been unfair. We're never in a position where we're 4-0 up. Well, we have been this year, but or 2-0 up or 2-0 down where you can throw them on. I managed to get them all on the other night for a few minutes, and I think that probably even opened their eyes in that little time, because that is rugby league, rugby union. That's totally different than youth football. So they do well in training. There's a lot of potential there, but they need to go out and get some men's football.
It did feel like a tough game today. It was a physical game as well, and it doesn't help. This cold is absolutely bitter. Well,
I even said to Jordan and Danny, I said to Danny, he's just come back for broken foot. I said, that's horrible, certainly. He's won a league at this level. So I said, that's a horrible situation to throw you on him. So, imagine trying to do that to a 17-year-old kid. So they either sink or swim sometimes, but obviously I just didn't feel that was right for them today. But just going back to the team, I'm pleased. I feel like we're making small strides. There's obviously areas that we can do better in. There was a lot of areas we could probably do better in today, but that weren't for the lack of effort or the lack of desire, which is always, first and foremost and paramount with me. And I just feel if we'd have had a little bit better quality, as their manager will probably be saying in his interview, then we could have won the game. But also, that'd have been nice if Jordan's would have just snuck in at the end. I thought that was in for a minute, and we both teams had good chances, and a draw was probably an entertaining 0-0 draw.
7 days now for the next game.
Yeah,
huge game. Spalding United, Steel Park. It's got to get a result there.
Yeah, I mean that fixture for some reason always seemed to drum up a bit of interest for some reason. I know they were title favourites before the start, but even last year, we ended up getting 670 down there in the midweek game, and whether that's because Elliot, ex-Corby and all that, or whether that's because they're the big spenders or one of the big spenders in the league, I don't know, but there just seemed to be a lot of interest in that, and obviously they'll be gunning for us after we went there and beat them. We give them their first home loss. They certainly won't be giving us our first home loss next week if they manage to beat us.
Corby are unbeaten this year at home.
Well, they can give us the first home loss if they was to beat us. But listen, we're not in bad form. We're confident. we've got 13, 14 good players. We'll look to get 1 or 2 through the door, hopefully this week, and hopefully start building a little bit of momentum towards the back end of the season to take into next season. But we're just going to try our best. You know, I'm going to keep trying my best till the end of the season. The players are certainly going to keep trying the best to the end of the season, and what's going to be and be. But the most important thing is people who pay money to come and watch us week in, week out. Another, away support today, really, really strong. They deserve maximum effort from me and the players, and that's what they got today.
Gary, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.